right in the heart with a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on me. Don't bite their feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No handout for the hopeless. Funny bullets, I caught some shots. Another piece of the puzzle connecting dots. You can find the truth of laughter and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If you don't want it like a model for me, like I don't see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends with advice to land. Not special, I was dead broke, but we still got hope. Don't take my words, just back and issue that raw dough. Just back and issue that raw dough. Back and issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my people, they know that I do care. With your hands in the air, rocking side to side. Now my work, yeah, it's time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the bag, label to change up his swag. I do it for us, I'm pro-black. Don't rock it the shit, yeah. Wouldn't be so all type of African shit. Just rock a table fade, swagger tailor-made. Polo collars and fly kicks. Just polo collars and fly kicks. Exclusive shit, not get wig. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with shot. Bang.
I'm respectful to my people, and I want to represent my people, and I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, let the blind lead the blind, they all follow you.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. They act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, but I'm nosing for heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid a reverend. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, packing the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't play me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange fruit, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, you choosing like Othello. L.A.R. be the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm niggas sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a miracle, my words are just imperial. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy B. And the mean as bad as Mofo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Now I wake up in the morning, I'm black and handsome as ever. However, you see me as strange fruit, will it ever happen, not again. A crook is just a homicide, he know it's self-defense. But since I'm black and since he white, he got no common sense. That's 1969, and he ain't Jesus Christ. He ain't coming back on Easter, he ain't got a second life. You know I'm right? Hold up, look. Now the sirens in my window here, pull it over. License and registration, gun ain't never in the holster. Plus, that man black too, he wanna act too. A nigga with an attitude and a badge too. A couple tattoos, hoping I act a fool so he can squeeze too. But it ain't nothing different, they the same thing. They pull him over, he gon' get the same thing. Maybe two up in his brain, 21 gun salute. Last words was I'm a copy, last heard fuck you. And he ain't coming back, you know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line. But when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm here. Now she on welfare. Law says that they can't live there, so we ain't there. And life ain't fair, but the food free and the rent cheap. His roaches where you sleep. He still came around and taught you baseball. Bought a Barbie doll, he raised all of y'all. And now the kids adults, they both up in the court. She want that child support, he on that child support. But he ain't never taught him baseball, and she ain't never bought him Barbie dolls. They both never there, no, never, not at all. Saying, well, pull your pants up, girl, why your ass out? They looking back saying, why? Y'all ain't ever in the house, you got it backwards, don't you? I'm saying, cause we still preaching unity. And it's supposed to be family first in community. Got it in church to $1 for your blessing. We made in God's image, thinking with Satan's mind. They got us crossed up, now Judas is Caesar. America bury me, but I ain't coming back for Easter. Yeah, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, y'all say goodbye. Everybody cry, second second line, but when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, they know I'm black like Jesus. But I ain't coming back for Easter, everybody cry. Y'all say goodbye, second line, but when the music stop, move on. Cause I ain't coming home, I'm gone.
What's happening, man? L.A.R. movement still moving. You know, it's I guess the chronicles of flu season. I don't know, but I was sitting down and I was thinking. You know, it's been a rough couple of months, man. Real talk, like it's been a rough couple of months in life, and I was on Instagram and I was listening to Magic Johnson talk about how when he was trying to make his business bigger by going to the bank to get capital for more Starbucks, that he went to like 7 banks and they told him no. And I think he said he went to San Diego or Sacramento or somewhere like that, and he went to that bank and they told him no. So I'm guessing by what he's saying, he was in LA and LA banks told him no. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, you know, he went to that bank for like three years, and on the 4th year or the 3rd year, they gave him the money for the capital to get like 120 something Starbucks. And as I'm listening to it, I was listening to a bunch of videos during the day because like I ain't had nothing to do because I'm sick. And I started thinking, man, that, you know, America has a history of killing black men's dreams. And this isn't one of those things where, oh, you're going to have a victim mentality. That's not what I'm talking about. It's kind of weird that you think other groups of people, everybody has their successes and their failures, and everybody has a certain industry that they may go into. I would say except for Native Americans, but they wind up with the casinos. We're having casinos now, so it would have been with them. But what's interesting is everybody who migrated to America that wasn't a slave or doesn't come from a slave background, they have a American dream. And the dream of things being good in America. And one of the things I was watching was Undercover Boss, clips of Undercover Boss, and this white guy, came from, I don't know, I would say Eastern Europe, and he was fun-loving, happy, hard-working guy. And he was talking about they asked him, why do you like your job so much? And he says, you know, America's a great country, you know, the things you can do here I couldn't do back home. And I can't understand it, but I can understand it. And then I started thinking back to what I was talking about earlier today, and with my family and with the men in my family. And for a man to you know, for so many men to be hardworking, industrious, sometimes even entrepreneurial men. Sometimes it was luck, sometimes it was hard work, sometimes it was a bit of both. The things that were done to them were disrespectful at a minimum. You know, when we talk about legacy and generational wealth, when you talk about guys trying to own land and own land or buy a home, you hear story after story of black men in particular. And I'm not dissing black women, I'm just talking about black men. But black men in particular who get the short end of the stick on bad business deals, or somebody makes a good business deal and somebody sabotages the business, so to get it sold for pennies on the dollar to somebody else. You feel me? So this becomes an issue. And it's like, okay. Because I've talked about it before that, America is supposed to be, the land of opportunity. You're supposed to have life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. And I just rolled that back because I was listening to something else earlier today. And a brother was talking and he said something to the degree of, he said, America is supposed to be the land of the free. And it's supposed to have all these great opportunities. It was actually Louis Farrakhan. It was an old clip of Louis Farrakhan. He was like, my people were in bondage, when everybody in this country was supposed to be free. Think about that. And I saw another brother talk about it. And he said, how the game's rigged? When you come from a group. And he said, think about how, I think it was Dame Dash. He was like, the people who owned slaves became lawmakers. So what do you think they were trying to do? You think they were trying to make it fair and equitable? Absolutely not. Instead of being a slave owner, they became a lawmaker. And they were already a lawmaker, most of them at the time anyways. So what is the one thing that you've seen generation after generation after generation after generation of America destroyed with men? And it was the dreams. Everybody talks about this country being religious and it's a Christian nation and God this and God that. And so a man thinketh, so he is. And, let a man speak and it'll become, and he'll be, what you think you can be and what you speak, you can basically make and manifest. Well, how many slaves wanted freedom? They died without their dreams being fulfilled. How many of them wanted to go home and died? How many black people just wanted peace? Died. How many black people wanted a fair shake at the quote-unquote American dream that everybody else got? Got screwed over, died. We talk about the financial part, but I can't even think of how many, men I've known or known of who really did their best to make sure that the people after them had it a little bit better than them. And they succeeded in that, because I can say every generation has gotten better and better and better as far as quality of life. But they died not even being able to see the better. Now, I'm not going to lie. Seeing Barack Obama as president was something I would have never thought a black man in America, I don't care where you're from, where his parents is from or whatever, would have ever been the president of the country. We would have never thought it. Not the way this country is. And in some ways, he's one of the best presidents, which says a lot. But after that same president didn't do too much to help he gave black men a dream that one day I could be president, but pretty much squashed a lot of black men's dreams of becoming something. Maybe I could do this and I can do that. And it's like, no, the pick yourself up by your bootstraps idea. Generation after generation after generation after generation. And sometimes we say it's like, I'm working on it, fam. And sometimes we say it as if, it's a manly thing to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and do this and do that. And it's like, well, here's the thing. If that's the case, how many black men have picked themselves up by their bootstraps? And how many people have stolen their shoes along the way? Because from what I see time and time again, brothers' dreams get ruined by this country. You know, and every time there's a story of a black man overcoming something, what they're overcoming is America. What they're overcoming is people in America trying to make sure that, you know, that they can't enjoy life. That's what darn it, every story of black men in America that you put on that winds up on a television show, well, a movie screen or a playwright, is somewhere along the lines, these guys, you know, this guy was oppressed and the door got shut on him in every corner, and everything they tried to do, America was against them. America, you know, I don't want to hear this BS about, oh, this is, you know, the country. If you go to school and get a good education and you're smart and you don't do anything to anybody and you know, you give it everything you got, you know, you'll be a success in America. No, you won't. No, you won't. That's not true. There are so many people who wind up working for complete, utter idiots. And idiots are more successful than them because they were born in a different family, or born of a different race, or how can I say this? Or a different religion. Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So all this, you know, if you do all the right things, it'll all work out. It's all BS. So what winds up happening time and time again is you got to ask yourself, I ask myself, you know, what thing that black men wanted that wasn't killed? Think about that. You know, when people look at old clips of the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King, you're just getting to the point where do y'all realize why he was actually killed? It's because he wanted financial equity. He wanted people to actually to be able to afford the dreams and their kids to have the dreams. You know, that's fine with me. But I'm talking about the history of America. See, a lot of fam, I'm not in the best health, and I'm not trying to do what I'm about to do in a second. You know. So what it is this. I've seen men do everything they could to make it in this country and not make it. And they look just like me. And I've seen men BS in this country, you know, and make it. And it don't add up. Even when we talk about, you know, even with this stuff like on YouTube or social media, look at, you know, people will get to the algorithm and get to this and get to that. And it's like, ask yourself a question. How come all the rules as far as when somebody says, okay, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you should see growth. This is not just in social media. This is in business in general. If you do this, if you market, if you promote, if you're consistent, if you have a good product, if you do that, if it looks professional, if it's this, if it's that, it's gonna grow. Well, black men, that's not the case. Now, if we turn around and we start doing something that's, right. If I start cutting up and being a buffoon, that's what people gravitate to. Whether you're black or you're non-black. People look at, hey man, everybody, it's like the consensus is, if you can be a buffoon, you can live a good life in America, and it's like, you got to be step and fetch it. And I look online and I'm looking at guys, and I thought about it, because of rap. And if y'all don't know, y'all have listened to music before. Of course, I got like 2 albums on my thing, on my page. But when you listen, when I look at the modern day rappers, they're not good. The most of them aren't good. And it's over and over the story again of a failed drug dealer who decided to be a rapper, and doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. That's the only dream. How often is it a failed college student becomes a rapper? You know what I'm saying? I guess that was Kanye and J. Cole, right? Everybody else had to be a drug dealer. That was I was dealing. I'm saying I was out here dealing. I was out here dealing crack and smoking weed and pushing, fentanyl and pills, and I'm the man. And it doesn't even look right. And why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it is because when we look at athletes and entertainers, they stand out. They stand out. And I wonder, like, how many black men's dreams, how many people failed at a dream? And this is where it gets interesting to me. You can have multiple dreams in life. If this didn't work out, you know what? I'm gonna try that. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and be a fool and think that some people only had one dream, and because they had that one dream, they pursued that dream, and most people failed, and a minute amount of people succeeded. So everybody's watching the success of a few people's success of fulfilling their dreams, but the other people who had multiple dreams. When you tried this, and then you tried that, and then you tried this, and you gave your all in all these things. You gave this, put your all in this, you put your all in that, you put your all in this, you put your all in that, and it just doesn't work out. And you follow the rules or regulations and done everything that's supposed to be done. And people come back and they say, man, I just didn't get a fair shake. I just didn't get a fair shake. And you see it all the time. You see it all the time. And you see guys like, man, listen, you see it so much that I think you see guys quit pursuing dreams. You see them quit, like, you know what? Not out of fear. I don't think a lot of people quit. I don't think a lot of black men stop pursuing dreams out of fear, but I think it's out of heartbreak. I think, so many heartbreaks have happened that you just can't take them. Like I need time to heal before I do this again. This is one heartbreak. The last one hurt. That was the 5th dream, the 10th dream, the 20th dream, and it's like, come on, man. And then you wind up seeing stories, of people. Same thing with athletics. How many people's dreams were squashed because of favoritism or a coach, or sometimes we look at people like, man, this person was born, they're this tall and this big, they're this fast and this strong. It's like, well, they're naturally, obviously, they just physically gifted, whatever. And so I can't argue with that. That guy's 6'7" and he's 280 pounds. You don't see that kind of thing walking around every time. It's like, yeah, whatever. But how many times have you seen people go, oh man, this guy's 6'7" and 280 pounds. He's a monster. And you see a guy who's 6 feet or 5'11" and 200 pounds, like, oh, well, yeah. This guy is more prototypical than you. And I would rather this guy than that guy. And it's like, but who's better? And we ask who's better, people don't want to say nothing, you know. So it becomes an issue. And I think, you know, it ruins people's dreams. And it's unfortunate because what you're seeing is, in my opinion, what you're seeing with America now is America has caught up as far as other races and ethnicities, that their dreams got killed. I know people don't want to hear that and say that, but there are only so many doors that are open in this country. So when you see people who are in other ethnicities, they say, hey, I want you to be a doctor, a nurse, or a lawyer. Guess what? A certain demographic might be, you know, packed into that, and they're only, and they're, you know, would you say that, you know, what the fuck are you talking about? Whatever, man. Bro, let me say this to you, bro. I got the flu. I'm sick, but I'm so sick of you stupid motherfuckers coming up here and you see the title and you show up at the last minute and you put a dumbass comment in the section. You ain't hear a fucking thing I said. Was I talking about Kanye? No. Was I talking about Megan Thee Stallion? No. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all get too comfortable doing that stupid ass shit. You can't just show up every... Matter of fact, since we're going to talk about whiteness, hold up. Fuck this. Since we're going to talk about whiteness, how about this? How come you bitch ass niggas don't show up on white people's channel and just comment dumb shit out of the blue? How about that? Because that kills my motherfucking dreams too. Real talk. Real talk. That kills my dreams. Motherfucker can't just make a video and talk without bitch nigga shit coming up. This the type of shit I'm talking about. I don't know who you are, Mike, but this, man, I ain't got the time, fam. Because this, we can't do anything without somebody throwing some bullshit in it. It don't make sense. It just don't. There comes a point where, and I'm gonna say this as black men in general, a lot of times we don't know our family history, and what I'm about to say is gonna suck, because a lot of us were raised by our mother's side of the family, and over the years it's been less and less men in the family. A lot of y'all really don't know the type of shit these black men had to go through. So y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all don't really, like, I know when my grandfather went to the Korean War and came back shell-shocked and had to work as a baker to make ends meet. He had to save folks' lives and fight for his life. He had to come back and be called nigger every day and work as a baker in Jim Crow, basically. And what he wanted was a peaceful life for his kids. But they still had to deal with the bullshit in America. Do y'all, I mean, do some of y'all, because some of y'all are, I mean, I'm in my 40s, some of y'all are younger than me. And I know some of y'all don't get it. When I talked about my great-grandfather having a farm and cattle and oil rigs, and the minute he died, they tried to kill my great-grandmother to steal all of the property, and she had to hide in the projects for maybe a decade or two. And if she would have got killed, guess what? Nobody would have cared. That all the paperwork would have just been cleared. And to this day, somebody has that land that's white. And their family is a I hope all them bitches burn in hell for that. Every generation. Because it wasn't theirs. They had to steal a man's land, cattle, resources, and wealth during Jim Crow. This is after slavery. Do you think that's what he died wanting to happen? No. This is what America does. I don't understand how y'all don't see this stuff. The worst y'all got is what? A teacher told you you'll never make the NBA or NFL or something? That's it? Excuse me. That's it? You never heard about people who got their businesses stolen, their business ideas stolen? That's it? Like, you never seen that? You never talked to the people in your family? You don't know what's going on? You don't know what's been going on? A lot of y'all tripping, man. You know, I got you. This is what America does. Think about it. Like for, excuse me. I know people who was in the military who saved people's lives and got court-martialed. You understand what I'm saying? You think if they was white that would have happened? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. America kills black men's dreams. It ain't just Tulsa. That happened in damn near every state. A lot of people don't understand. Why do you think black people are in big cities? Because all of these Tulsa, the Black Wall Street, that was mostly in small towns outside of major cities. Black people had to move to major cities to stop that from happening. So I'm saying America kills black men's dreams. I'm not saying we got, everything is victim and victim mentality, but what I'm saying is, we got to deal with the reality the way it is. Nobody cares. That was the same thing about the Brian Banks story. They killed that man's dreams. Did they care that they did it? Absolutely not. They did not. Trayvon Martin got killed literally. His brother decided to try to be a lawyer because of what happened to his brother. They killed that young man's dreams, and we act like, and they let the guy off who did it. Because, hey, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter, right? And some of the same people who talk about anti-Semitism was calling Trayvon Martin a nigger. And he deserved to die. Quoting, talking about Kanye West and Kyrie Irving right now. People are full of shit. No, he gets paid for the Super Soaker because he worked at NASA prior. But think about all the black men who invented other things. Think about them. Do I think that all mistreatment? Bob, you want to know the truth? Well, the truth is, I think that the people who enjoy and participate in the mistreatment are devilish fucks. That's what I think. And I think if those people are concerned that maybe black men are apathetic now because of their mistreatment, maybe you should burn in hell, and I hope your family does too. I'm not saying this to you personally, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by, this is what I mean by America kills black men's dreams. Like, the thought process is fucking retarded. You know what? I'm gonna fuck you over, and I'm gonna enjoy doing it, and I'm gonna fuck your kids over, I'm gonna fuck your grandkids over, I'm gonna fuck your great grandkids over, and we're gonna get paid. Everybody's gonna get paid doing it. And you know what? Maybe that makes you apathetic to how you treat yourself. Fuck. Maybe that makes you a shepherd for the devil. You see what I'm saying? Like, this country is fucking demonic. Y'all really think it's a difference between America and Nazi Germany? Not really. Not really. That's what I'm saying. You know, man, if you can create something in America, you can be rich. Not if you black, you can't. Not if you black. A black man invented potato chips. Can't get a dime from it, right? Neither can his family, right? Oh, that was a long time ago. Bullshit. Y'all know who invented it. You see, here's what I mean by America kills black men's dreams. This is a funny country because you can Google this shit, right? You can Google this shit. You can Google who invented what. And exactly. Yeah, I know I went off earlier, but exactly. You know. You can Google who did what. Who invented what? The companies who benefit from who did what and who invented what can go back. You know what? That was actually done by this person. Okay, well, damn, if they did it and you basically profited and benefited off of it, since you know who that is, can't you go to their family and give their family money? See, let me tell you, and even with the Jack Daniels situation, let me run this back. Let me tell y'all something that's interesting about that. They used the name. They never paid the family. That's a different person. It's a black lady. It's a black woman. I think she's married. Her and her husband used the nearest brand under Jack Daniels to have a quote unquote black on whiskey. They ain't paying a dime to the actual family. See what I'm saying? That family don't get anything. Oh, we don't even know them. We can't find them. We have no idea. Shit, you know your damn family tree all the way down. You got all this ancestry shit going on everywhere else. But when it comes to actually finding the family who you got the recipe from and you use racism to get rich, I can't find them. I don't know where they exist. It's bullshit. Oh, it's beyond the traffic light. You know. It doesn't make sense. They say the same thing about macaroni and cheese. But it's what about the brother who invented the lawnmower? The original lawnmower, which they build everything off of, the push mower. You think you can't find that family. These names, and it's sad because a lot of black people's names are in the patent office with certain patents, but you can't find their family. Ain't that a bitch? So those inventors created something, you know, in hopes that their family could benefit off of it. They can get rich. And what did this country do? They stole it. What about the brother who invented the blackboard and the desk? You just blackboards and desks everywhere. The pencil sharpener, they're everywhere. But you know what? Didn't matter, right? Didn't matter. It's ridiculous. But you can only steal from us. Stealing from everybody else, or we're gonna sue. We sue. The judge is like, no. You can't sue a white person from stealing from a black person. That's ridiculous. This ain't gonna be the Nintendo control. No, actually the game system was invented by a black man. The single game console was invented by a black man. Gerald Lawson. He don't get nothing from it. Bob, you shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. I think this is the only country I was listening to something that Andrew Tate said earlier. This is probably the only country in the world that's corrupt as hell this country is corrupt to the point that we only follow rules when you're pointing them at black people, black men in particular. That's when you follow the rules. Think about it. And I brought up ex-president Barack Obama. He got more death threats in his 8-year tenure than all the presidents combined. How many people went to jail? Because 99% of them people was white. Think about that. When people think about the insurrection or the Capitol, whatever you want, a Capitol riot on January 6th, they act like, the death threats and nobody going to jail on President Obama, it doesn't correlate. That's the same group of people. You told them people that they can get on national television and say they want to kill a president. Did y'all remember when Barack Obama was running for president and Hillary Clinton alluded to him getting shot? That didn't, hey, he's a white woman. She's a Clinton. Hey, so what? So, and it was literally, chasing a dream to be president. And what did she? Hey, he could get shot. I mean, if you keep doing this presidential stuff, hey, might catch one, JFK style. Like, oh, okay, this what we doing? So that's the thing. Like, America kills black men's dreams, and to me, it's sadistic because, it's weird when you go somewhere. It's weird when you go somewhere as a black man and you see somebody who's not black, and what winds up happening is they get offended if they get the inclination that you may be living better than them. Now, a lot of people, don't get, sometimes people don't go out enough or haven't been out enough. They haven't been out enough to get into these kind of conversations. But I've been around the block, man. And I've noticed this year in and year out. I know what my father had to deal with, my grandfather had to deal with. It's weird. It's weird that people in this country who are so quote unquote Christian and into God take so much pleasure in trying to destroy somebody's dreams. People pray that you fail, that we fail. They pray for that. They thank God for that. And they participate in making sure it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. What the fuck are you talking about? It's interesting, you know, white people rob people all the time. We just don't say nothing. We just don't say nothing. Hispanics rob people all the time. We just don't say nothing. Asians rob people all the time. We just don't say nothing. You know. Bruh, I am not talking about dating. I'm not. Bruh, look, I've been in the manosphere for years. I know that's what I've been in the manosphere, in the black manosphere. But some of y'all cats gotta stop coming around when it's not talking about relationships and dating and relationships and make it about relationships. Everything ain't about black women. Real talk. Everything is not about black women. If I make a goddamn video about cereal, you motherfuckers show up. Black women don't like golden grams like I like them. Motherfucker, am I talking about black women? Chill. I'm talking about America, the title. America kills black men's dream. Don't say black women. I gotta chill that shit out. Othello is, you know what's weird? Othello is, hold on for a second. Sorry about that. Othello is every black man who's ever been in the suburbs, whether they've been playing sports in high school. Othello is a teenage black male story. It's a teenage black male story. It ain't even a grown black man story. It's a teenage black male story. You know? No, I don't want nobody timed out, man. It's just, sometimes I gotta be sad, bro. Sometimes it does, man. It's not about, I'm talking about one thing. Sometimes we got to get past the everything about women every day. I told y'all brothers before, man. If I really want this channel to blow up, I just talk about black women every freaking video. And y'all will show up. America is a bigger problem to us than these sisters. These sisters are a problem, though. I'm not going to front. They're a problem. But everything ain't about them, man. You know. Everything ain't. But Othello is just a it's a black male suburban story, you know, because this is, and it ain't even got to be a white story, you know. This is just when black kids are around non-black kids, we're all Othello. We all have people who swear they're our friends and they're down for us, and then they make up stuff in their mind, and then they wind up being our enemy, and we don't see it coming. And they all banding together like, yo, it's him. A lot of times, that's why, excuse me, yo. That's why, even when you see, and it's weird to say this, but even when you see black conservatives, and I mean like people that go like far right, this from now and go anytime in the past. If you notice, if you see guys who, black men in particular, who might be what you would consider viewed as a sellout, they might have a white wife, but they don't have a lot of white male friends. Even the ones who are so, you know, quote unquote sellout-ish or coonish, they don't have a lot of white male friends. Cause they like, they might take a picture with you at a ball game. You know, they might go to the subdivisions, get-togethers and picnics, but them guys ain't gonna be coming in the house every day. It's not gonna happen. And you're not gonna have like 3, 4, 5 white friends. I know we don't want to say this, but that's what it is. Because even those guys have known that, you know, when you get too many people who are not black coming to your house, they try to figure out ways to destroy what you have. You know. And it's sad. It's sad. A lot of black men are Othello though. But you know, that's ironically how a lot of black men have, you know, when I say America kills black men's dreams, a lot of that has to do with befriending other people who aren't black. I know we talk about, you know, black on black hate and black on black crime or whatever you want to talk about. But a lot of times when you're doing things outside of that and with the business dynamic, ask any black man who's gotten a business. Guess who, you know, and he ain't got to do business with black people. The distributor ain't going to be black. And I bet you they're going to overcharge him. I bet you they're going to overcharge him. Oh, because we're friends. So everybody else pays 50 cents for this. But you're going to have me paying 80 cents for this. Oh, but we're friends. I want you to succeed. No, you don't. You want me to slowly choke and die. Because if they're buying this from you for 50 cents and they're making, you know, and they're selling it for $1, they're at least making that profit. If I'm buying it for you and I got to buy it for 80 cents, because all of a sudden the rates are different when I show up, and then my profit is 20 cents, I'm going to still get overcharged for the building if I don't own it. So you're just slowly trying to choke me out. Like, I remember walking into a gas station when it's a weird thing. I was walking into a gas station and a guy was dropping off like snacks, like honey buns and stuff. And the guy who ran the gas station was black. And it's years ago. And the guy was like, you know, he says, he tells the guy, yeah, he pays for the boxes or whatever. And he said, he give him the price. And what he did was, because of the neighborhood, everything in the neighborhood, even on the surrounding stores, they upped the price because it was a nice neighborhood. So, you know, people, you know, you can afford a little higher rate on your snacks. So the black guy did the same thing that the other gas stations were doing. So if he got it for 50 cents, he's selling it for like 125, 150. And the white guy was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And the guy's like, yeah, I can. I bought it from you from this price. I don't see the problem. Everybody else is selling it. Why am I going to short myself because you want me to, basically? And the dude was freaking out. And I'm not even going to front. I think I went back maybe months later. I don't even think those snacks were there anymore. But I think he was like, you know what? You're not finna throw me under the bus. You know, so you see a lot of this stuff happen in real time. And if you've been around people, you've seen it done to them in real time. You've seen people, and a lot of y'all don't know this, but what is that movie, The Banker? That's the movie, The Banker, with Anthony Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson. When he was talking about when he was listening to, he started out as a shoe shine boy outside of a bank. He was just listening to the conversations, ear hustling. And after years went by, he knew the rhetoric, right? You know, yeah, I'm gonna put that back up there. And he learned the rhetoric, and it made him be a better mathematician and know the rates in those banks. And he noticed, you know, this was before banks were even lending to black folks. So think about people like that. And what I mean by that is, America don't realize how many black male kids, y'all said the most outlandish stuff around. And they become adults. Y'all don't know how many 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old men who like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, it was this. And, you know, when I became an adult, you know, it evolved to this and then evolved to that. And then people go, oh, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. You know, you brothers are conspiracy theorists. Y'all say this and y'all say people are out to get you. And it's like, nah, B. A lot of times successful black men in business are black men who understand that they already cheating. So we gotta cover for people cheating. Hold on for a second. My dog is over here whining and whatnot. But you know, the thing about it is, you know, America, it kills dreams because of that. You know, people love Andrew Tate, but ironically, do you think Andrew Tate would have been as successful in America as he is in Romania? No. And I know people don't realize, you know, he's black, but him and his brother, they're successful guys. But could they pull off in that country what they pulled off? Could they do it in this country? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And probably because they can pass for white, they probably was able to make deals that, you know, we couldn't make because we can't pass for white. That's happened before also. You know, my dog is over here tripping. Come here. You know, the same thing with the church, right? It's crazy. Even Gus. You know what's interesting? You said that I didn't know this because I didn't really watch Breaking Bad, the series, when it came out, but I didn't realize recently in Albuquerque they made a statue of Walter and Jesse, the Breaking Bad, you know, stars. Walter White, I forgot Jesse's, Pinkman, I want to say. And one of the guys who's like the mayor, he's an Hispanic guy. He was like, "Hey man, let me get this right. Y'all took down a statue of like some, I think, Native American or Spanish warrior for, I guess, his historical negatives." And he said, "But you're gonna put a statue of fictitious drug dealers, you know, in Albuquerque." And that's the part of America that's weird, because even with other people, what we glorify in this country is weird. Like it's just weird. You know, come here. You know, I don't know if my dog got to use the bathroom or go outside, but he tripping. But what winds up happening along the way is this. Come here. You're not gonna see a statue of Big Meech. You're not gonna see a statue of Frank Lucas, because they're, you know, being a drug dealer is a despicable thing. You get what I'm saying? You're not gonna see a statue of what is the character in Snowfall? Franklin Saint. Because, oh man, it brought so much business to L.A. We're gonna, you know, make a statue of a fictitious drug dealer like Rick Ross, even though Breaking Bad was actually based on a true story. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see that because it's ridiculous to do. But this is what America is built on, like glorifying white criminality over the quote-unquote godly principles that this country is supposed to have, right? So when it comes to black men, it's just like, some brothers like, man, it's no win. It's no win. There's only so many spots in the NFL and NBA, brother. You know what I'm saying? So many acting jobs, and now rap is getting big, you know, because of the internet. There's so much musical material that's being put out there. And I will say there's probably going to be more people getting rich off of music now just because of the access to the internet. But it's so much trash out there that people don't know what good music is anymore. So they'll just buy anything as long as it sounds like something that they think is good. And it could be garbage. Like, people buy garbage music now and steal good music. It used to be the opposite. People used to, like, they used to bootleg good music because they couldn't afford it. You know, now you can afford it, but you're buying bullshit. And that's crazy. But that's a whole other story. You know. But I mean, Dahmer is no different. Like, that criminality is what it is. But when it comes to black men, that's not how the nation is set up. It's just not how the nation is set up. Like, we have a lot of positive stories, but they just don't tell them. Outside of, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, 2 Live Crew was trash. Nobody ever said that Luke was a great rapper. He just brought strippers everywhere. We don't pay for quality anymore. We pay for quantity. People should have known that, a long time ago. And exactly, people buy off hype. But the funny part about it is quality becomes hype. Quality becomes hype. So now we're at a crossroads where what's quality anymore? What do we like, even like with black men, what is a quality black man? And this is what I mean, getting back to the topic, America kills black men's dreams, because what we think about as a quality black man is somebody that'll do everything for you and won't do something for himself. That's crazy. Yeah, they also glorify him, but I ain't gonna lie, Eminem can fucking rap. Say what you want, that motherfucker can rap. He can rap his ass off. Now, after about the 5th album, it's been all downhill. But those, that I would say that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th album, those are monsters. Those are monster albums. But he was gonna get more. Personally, watch this. Using a musical reference. Do you know how big Usher would be if he was white? Oh, do you know how big Usher would be if he was white? Think about that. He'd be way bigger than Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake is not as good as Usher at all. But he's put in the same class as Usher. I don't know why. Cisco would be bigger than Justin Timberlake if he was white. See what I'm saying? Came from a great R&B group, was the lead singer. He would be a better, he said he'd be Elvis. Yeah, it'd be high. Think about that. Come here. I was laughing. I was watching Travis Kelce and his brother. I forget his brother's name. Is it Jason? They have a podcast together. And his brother that is the one that plays center for the for the Eagles. And he said, what's the hardest position? Who talks the most trash? And he says, they say cornerbacks. And he said, cornerback is the hardest position in the NFL. And Travis Kelce's like, what? He said, no, it's cornerback. It's got to be the hardest position. He said, besides, it's either cornerback or quarterback. And I'll take cornerback. And then he said, look, cornerback is so hard, white guys don't even try to do it. And Travis Kelce just busted up laughing. He said, man, that's funny. Think about that. And what I'm saying this is, using that sports analogy real quick, the degree of difficulty to be a black man in America, and even outside of America, is far higher than everybody else. But especially black men in America, because we have no quote unquote home country. This is our home country. And our home country has treated us horribly. So it's accustomed to that. So we don't get that. Stop it. Yeah, it's not, Bob. But a lot of times in Black history, we were welcoming to people because people came to us because they wanted to know how to navigate the unfairness of America and the oppression of America. And those same people, when they found out ways to navigate it, they just joined the white supremacy angle of hating us black folks. Come here. They just joined it. And that's what sucks. Because that's Othello. you know, it's basically Othello. Hold on, y'all. Let me let this dog go out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna shut it down in a second because he gotta go outside. I think he gotta pee or something. So thank y'all for rocking with me. I'm gonna get up out of here before he destroys this house. And I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young
Listen
or the
serious.
old, there are many,
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
and there are Supermen.
All the way. I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break. Me, I ain't coming back. I got one life to live. If you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me. Plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the Kings of Leon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with Freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what, we had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay.